Welcome to Math Made Perfect, where learning math is fun.
Hey boys and girls, welcome to another video with Math Made Perfect, where learning math is fun. Let's go do some more multiplying. Today we're going to be looking at multiplying a mixed number by a whole number. Now boys and girls, the same strategies that we use for multiplying a fraction by a whole number can be used for multiplying a mixed number by a whole number. Do you remember the strategies that we used? If you said number one was models, then you are correct. We also use repeated addition as well as the standard algorithm. For today's lesson, we are going to look at how we can use the repeated addition as well as the distributive property to help us to multiply a mixed number by a whole number. Alright, remember what we had said, boys and girls. The whole number tells us how many times to add our fraction. And in this case, the whole number tells us how many times to add our mixed number. This means I need to add 1 1/2 3 times. So it will be 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2. I can now go ahead and add my whole numbers. I have a total of 3 whole numbers. Then I have 3 halves. 1, 2, 3 halves. That's going to give me 3 halves. Now boys and girls, if you look carefully, you'll see that 3 halves is an improper fraction, which means it can be written as a mixed number. Remember how we simplified, boys and girls. We put our 3 inside or 2 outside. How many times do I get 2 from 3? 1. This one is pretty easy, right? 2 times 1 is 2. I have 1 left. Whole number, numerator, and denominator. I then take the mixed number, 1 1/2, and I add it to 3. So I have 3 plus 1 1/2. Remember that 3 halves is equivalent to 1 1/2. I add these together and I get 4 1/2. How is that, boys and girls? Let's look at another example. Let's do 4 times 2 2/3. Remember, our whole number tells us how many times to repeatedly add. So I'm going to add 2 2/3 4 times. Go ahead and I add my own numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. And then I add 2, 4, 6, 8. Good. That's going to be 8/3. Remember, you need to check to see if your fraction is an improper fraction. If it's an improper fraction, it means it's greater than 1, which means it can be simplified. So I'm going to put my 8 inside and my 3 outside. 8 divided by 3 gives me 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And when I subtract, I have 2 left. Whole number, numerator, denominator. Now, whatever my mixed number is, I add it to 8. So this becomes 8 plus 2 2/3. I add them together, I get 10 2/3. Are you following, boys and girls? Repeatedly adding can be fun if the numbers are small. Let's look at the distributive property. The distributive property, as the word states, means distributing whatever is outside of your parentheses to what's inside of your parentheses. So let's write our number sentence so that it looks like what we want it to look like for the distributive property. So I'm going to write my whole number 3 times, I'm going to rewrite my mixed number using 1 plus 1/2. Right? Do you agree with me, boys and girls? I hope you do, because you need to be working along with me as we go. So I have 3. Now the distributive property states that I can distribute what's outside of the parentheses to what's inside of the parentheses. So I'm going to do 3 times 1 as well as 3 times 1/2. So let's write that number sentence now. So it's going to be 3 times 1 parentheses plus 3 times 1/2. I know when you see this, boys and girls, you're like, I know how to do that. So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 3/2. Did you see this somewhere before? Yes, you should have. So the 3 plus this is equivalent to 1 and 1/2. I add them together and I get 4 and 1/2. Are you ready for a challenge, boys and girls? In class, what do I say? Try me. Go ahead, boys and girls, and pause the video and try this question. You can choose to use the distributive property or repeated addition. Remember, boys and girls, if your whole number is very big, then you cannot use repeated addition. So try practicing using the distributive property as well as the repeated addition. Come on, guys, let's see what you did. Now I'm going to do this both ways. I'm going to do repeated addition and then the distributive property. Come on, guys, let's go, go, go. My whole number here is 2. So I'm going to do 4 and 2/5 plus 4 and 2/5. 4 plus 4 is 8 and 2 plus 2 is 4 fifths. Isn't that one easy, guys? Now let's go distribute. So now we're going to rewrite our problem. So 4 and 2/5 times 2. I'm going to write 2 times 4 plus 2/5. Distributive property means that I am going to distribute my whole number to my fraction as well as my whole number. So this is going to be equal to 2 times 4 plus 2 times 2/5. I make my whole number a fraction using 1. 2 times 4 is 8. Let's get it. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 2 times 2 is 4. And 1 times 5 is 5. Our answer is 8 and 4/5. Now, boys and girls, you'll notice that 4/5 is a proper fraction, which means I do not need to simplify then add. Until next time, boys and girls, keep practicing because learning math is fun.
Remember to like, subscribe, and share.